السلام عليكم. لا تنسوا الإعجاب بالفيديو والاشتراك في القناة تشجيعا لنا لنستمر بنشر المزيد إن شاء الله.
Either be true or false. You can't say for certain, isn't it, until that time comes. So you can't tell when it's going to happen. But there is a hadith which says that there will come a time when money will be in abundance, and it's like you'll find it difficult to give money to in zakat and for charity and so on, because it'll be in abundance, and nobody will want it.
All right.
We don't know if that is what state the world is going to be in that.
But money, in what sense? In what sense? Gold or
could be gold, could be cryptocurrency, could be anything. You don't know, We don't know what will be new.
The thing is that if the gold market crashes, could it be like a proof, evidence that the Quran is not right? Could it be or not?
If the gold market crashes, then maybe what Brother Ayaz was saying, they will find so much gold that the value of gold goes down. You see what I mean? I mean, imagine diamond today, Diamond is rare to find, and that's the reason it holds a value. But if we have a time when there'll be so much diamond around, I don't know, somehow, by nature we have some resources, which is abundance, so the value goes down. Value is normally demand and supply, isn't it? Supply and demand.
Yes,
So if the supply is more, then the demand goes down. The supply is low, demand goes up.
The thing is,
that's economics 101.
According to my theory, all the gold in central banks in all the countries in the world is going to be sold.
Actually,
because at the moment there is not much gold, but because countries are keeping gold inside the vault.
No, what happened? Since the 1970s, before 1970, they used to have gold reserve for the amount of money you have in circulation. Walaikum salam. How are you? So the amount of money you have in circulation, you must have the similar amount of gold in your bank.
Yeah.
But what happened? I think since then, the Americans, they have made the U.S. dollar as the the standard kind of currency. So you don't need to have this gold reserves.
Yeah.
The standard became the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, but the point is that the gold is still in reserves. It's still in the banks.
Yeah. Many banks do have it.
You understand? It's useless inside the bank.
No, but many countries, they have sold their gold, because when the U.S. dollar became the standard, they said this is irrelevant. That's the reason you have all this. Whenever there is a credit crunch, they manufacture money. And this is what the world has become today. There's no real sense of where it is pegged to. Now it is pegged to the dollar. Before it used to be pegged to gold. So that has changed. The standard has changed now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean.
Now they can print money, as they wish.
Yeah.
That's literally what happens every time. That's how they bail out these banks. So when they are in huge debt, lots of people don't pay their loans back. They say, okay, let's put all that under the carpet. We're going to print some more money now.
Yeah, but that's a stealing.
It is, it is. But unfortunately, that is it. That's why they say if you want the best financial system, you come to the Islamic financial system, where everything is accounted for and is balanced. And it's not the rich making more money of the poor by giving them loans and charging them X amount of interest and usury. Yes, it's standard. You give back what you owe. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think that is who lends money with 0% interest.
Then you shouldn't lend money in such a way that you become you enslave the person who becomes your debtor.
The reason why the money's been lent in the first place
is
because you have a system where it takes advantage of individuals. The system is like that. That's why it's like that. And that's why take advantage even more. If that system wasn't there in the first place,
I don't know.
What Islam is against is the interest, not you making profit. So, for example, if you have something to sell, and you can buy it for £7, sell it for £8, something like that, or reasonable profit. Yeah, that is not what Islam says you shouldn't do, because that is trade. Trading is permitted in Islam as long as it's in the right way. But when you actually give money and take money back, that's not really trade. It's like for like, isn't it? In a way. And what you're doing there is you're abusing the people who really need the money. Yes.
No, it's not.
Because most businesses, they have something to put it as collateral, like maybe their business, their goods, or something like that. They need loans. They're the ones who need the bigger loans, not the smaller, punters who require maybe a few extra bits for their lifestyle, maybe, or maybe they can't afford it or something. But most of the loans that are given are between businesses, isn't it? Or buying houses today, for example. Yeah. But the system is such that it's kind of unfair to the needy, and it's like making the rich more richer.
Creates a huge difference.
I'm not saying that we should have a system where we should just give away free things. No, there has to be trade. There has to be give and take, but in a reasonable way.
Yeah, give and take in a reasonable manner. It means voluntary exchange. Voluntary exchange. Both parties benefit, because
it has to be voluntary, of course. You can't. But the thing is, once in this system of the capitalism, it is made in such a way that, for example, if you buy a house and you're unable to pay for it, you lose all of your house, even the bit that you paid for. See what I mean? So it's always the banker who benefits, not the other party. The profit and the loss is not mutual.
Well, then in that case, he shouldn't have signed the contract.
But they have no way. There's no other system here. That's the only system they have.
Well,
so what are you going to do?
Offer new contracts, offer new systems, in place.
That's what I'm saying. The new system, which I am promoting
because
here,
at the end of the day, capitalism, that has bad reputation, is a voluntary exchange of goods and services, nothing else.
It seems voluntary, but then there is a lot of clauses which tie them. Like I said, in this system, the only one who benefits is the bank. Okay?
No,
even if doesn't matter. The profit and loss is not mutual. Yes, it's always the bank who benefits. Because you buy a house of 300,000, yes, but by the time you finish paying for it, it could be like 2/3 even.
If the profit is unusually high for the banks, what happens?
Always has been.
If the profit is unusually high for a bank or for whatever business, that lures investors into creating banks or any other businesses, increasing the offer and reducing the price. I mean, capitalism, with all the bad reputation it has, is just voluntary exchange and allocating resources where they are most needed, where people want them the most.
No, I don't know if it's clearly voluntary exchange. It's more like one party is the one who holds all the cards. The other party is more like out of need or out of desperation. I'm not saying everyone, obviously, not the businesses, but at least the people. For example, in this country, if somebody wanted to buy a house, the only way they could afford it is to go through the bank, pay them interest on top of the capital that they bought the house for. See what I mean?
The banks have already laid out the conditions, and you have to obviously follow them.
The conditions are like...
I mean, but you can open a bank yourself and lay it out and at different conditions.
No, but then what would be the difference? I would be just like them.
No, but different, more fair conditions.
There are. So now we are having a few Islamic banks.
That's it.
Have that system, and this is a start. It's not perfect, but alhamdulillah, it's a start.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
By the way, what is your view about Islam and Islam? I don't know. Have you looked into Islam or Islamic system?
Ashhadu.
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 Ashhadu la ilaha illallah.
Ashhadu. خدوه.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله.
And we're told that the person who accepts Islam, all of their good deeds are also not shared, but equally given to those who support it and given the da'wah. So there are numerous ways to support the da'wah. You can do that via PayPal, you can join our Patreon, or become a YouTube member. All of your money will then be used to spread the word of Islam throughout the world by creating more content, translations that would reach far more people than they would have normally reached just with the English language, but also to help new Muslims that come into the faith that might need books or training or courses. All of this goes towards enhancing the da'wah, and we're very, very grateful to all of your help. Jazakallah khair. I hope, inshallah ta'ala, you enjoy the video. Do remember to like it and to recommend it to your brothers and sisters.
Basically, I was a Catholic.
Okay.
Then
you were. You left it now.
I became atheist, and then I have written the first theory on God, not based on faith ever. Basically, in essence, the theory says that the miracle is not external to us. Is us itself, you know.
What does that mean?
Means that
Which miracle are you talking about?
religion, God is a miracle, okay? The miraculous entity is not external to us, it's us.
You mean supernatural entity?
Exactly, supernatural entity. The miracle is something that is an impossible, like...
You cannot explain it.
Exactly, that's the thing, you cannot explain
How do you
it.
explain the existence of the universe?
The existence of the universe is a miracle. It's an impossibility possible. You know,
I thought you don't believe in miracles.
the universe came from I don't know, anything, from atoms, from molecules.
No. The atoms and molecules are part of the universe.
Yeah.
Where did the universe come from?
It always existed.
No, it can't be.
Why not?
The reason for that is because of the entropy. The second law of thermodynamics will not allow it.
But we are a miracle. You understand? It's not science, you know.
I agree we are a miracle. The question is, where did we come from?
Yeah.
The universe is a miracle itself. Where did it come from? But it needs you see, for everything there's a cause and effect.
Always existed.
No, it can't be, because there is no scientist ever approves that model.
But the same thing can be asked with God. Where did your God came from?
Based on whom? Based on the scientists? The scientists don't care about
where Allah came from, you know?
Most of the scientists, they don't care about anything outside the naturalistic world. So they are unable to explain the supernatural, but they will explain to you the natural world. So they will explain to you about the universe and so on, you know, the Big Bang Theory. So that is their way of understanding how the universe came into existence.
No, but the thing is, the Big Bang Theory says, for example, that from molecules or atoms, you know, the universe was created. But who created or what was created those atoms?
Exactly.
And so on, so forth, okay. Eternally.
Let's narrow it down to, do you think there is a possibility it came from nothing, or did it create itself? Would that be a possibility? It came from nothing, for example. Is that a possibility?
It's a possibility. It's
how?
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, no? Doesn't make sense that it was created from nothing.
Yeah,
so always existed, you know. Something.
It can't always exist.
Something comes from something else, and something else comes from something else. That way, eternally.
No, but we know, based on the Big Bang Theory, the scientists who postulated this model, they have known from the evidence that they have with regards to radiation and so on, they can determine the age of the universe, and they say it's 13.8 billion years old. Okay, which shows that it had a beginning. It's not eternal.
Yeah, but came from something.
Exactly. That's the question. Where from? That's exactly my question.
In the sense that, let's say you have the universe, you know.
Yeah.
The universe has to be created from something, and something from something else, and so on and so forth.
Logically, the way you are thinking, that's how it should be. But you know, if that was the case, then we will have another problem. It's called infinite regress.
Yeah, infinite regress.
So when you have infinite regress, will we ever exist?
Yeah.
No, we won't.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Let me give it
Life and death has existed forever.
No, it hasn't. The universe itself had existed, had a beginning. So it means it began to exist at some point. point. If there was infinite regress, let me give you an example. Imagine you're in a library and you want to borrow a book. Now there are infinite number of people in front of you. Yes? Will you ever get a book?
No.
Why? Because the number is infinite. The number of people in front of you is infinite. It means never ending. So this is a problem you will have when you have infinite regress. The world will never exist. The universe will never exist if it was for infinity.
Yeah, but it's
so logically, it's impossible.
Exactly, it's impossible. It's an impossibility. A miracle.
No, it's impossible if there was infinite regress. So what we have to understand is that there has to be something. There has to be a supernatural thing which was uncaused, which caused this universe.
But that's impossible either.
I'm explaining. Wait a minute. You haven't let me finish. So let me finish. Because that uncaused cause is the first cause and it's eternal. And it has a will to create, and it has intelligence and to design. This intelligent designer is the one who brought this universe into existence. So,
but that's impossible.
Why is that impossible?
Because it is impossible and uncaused cause.
No, uncaused cause is not impossible because that is the necessary being who has to exist in order for us to exist.
Yeah, but that entity you are calling God is us. Is that what they call us?
No. We began to exist. He never existed. Sorry, never began to exist. He always existed.
Yeah, like us.
No, we never always existed.
Like the universe, always existed.
Where did you get that from? The universe always existed.
Because let's put it this way: the universe was created yesterday. Okay. And was created from something, and something from something else. So always existed.
Based on what I'm saying, that this necessary being who always existed and was always eternal is the one who brought the universe into existence. So he's the cause, the first cause, which brought into existence this world and this universe, and us, including us. We are not eternal. The universe is not eternal. The world is not eternal. The only being who is eternal and who is necessary being is God Almighty. Or if you don't like the term God, call it intelligent designer.
No, I mean, I understand your point of view.
That is a supernatural being.
That entity that is external to us, that is impossible that entity internal to us is us.
Why are you saying that entity is impossible? Why? On what basis you're saying that? The reason that we exist...
Because God was created from something.
No, by definition of God, he's uncreated, uncaused.
Exactly, us.
No, we exist. We had a beginning. So you and your soul had a beginning.
I was born.
By the way, do you believe in souls as an atheist?
I'm not atheist.
I thought you said you were atheist.
No. I am saying that we are God.
Oh, you're God.
You and you. Everything is God. The universe is God.
What is your definition of God?
God is a miracle. It's an impossibility possible.
That's not a definition. What's the definition of your God? Of your understanding of God?
My understanding of God is a miracle. It's an impossibility.
No, but that's not really. It's like me saying, "Oh, I believe in a pink elephant." Yes, and I think it's a miracle. It's a claim. It's not a. There's no evidence for it. It's just a claim. So I can claim anything that is supernatural, yes, and just say yes, it is there. But what I'm saying is that with regards to God Almighty, the only logical way you can make sense of the existence of this universe is that there has to be an external entity which brought about this universe. Because the universe, the universe.
But who brought that external entity?
The external entity, by definition of the term God, is uncaused and uncreated.
That's what I'm saying.
But you are created, my friend. Come on.
What I'm saying is not external. It's us.
You are created. You're saying you're God. You're created. You had a beginning.
Yes.
God doesn't have a beginning.
I am created and I always existed.
Yes. God is not created. Well, by the way, what do you mean you always existed?
Because.
Where's the evidence you always existed?
Because of infinite regression.
Infinite regress means you will not exist.
No, I mean that will exist. You know?
No, infinite regression is the opposite. If there is in any system, if there's infinite regress, that means that will not exist.
But it's an impossibility possible. It's a miracle.
No, it can't be a miracle because you exist. It's not just a miracle. The fact that you exist, the fact that you had a beginning, the fact that you have an end, all prove that you are contingent. You are dependent on another entity.
But that entity who depends on
that entity is not contingent and not dependent on anyone. It's self-existing, self-sufficient, independent, intelligent, infinite, and eternal.
Exactly. And that
none of that applies to you.
No, of course it applies to me.
Which part?
Because I am part of God, the universe.
Oh, you're part of God. So you're a pantheist now.
Basically, the universe, everything in existence is God. I am my part of, like you are. Everybody is, like this microphone is...
Are you going to worship this microphone?
I'm not worshiping anyone because I am God. I don't worship anyone. Of course, I'm not a slave.
But you're a God, and so is this microphone based on you. So you are no different to this non-intelligent thing.
I am. We are just different.
Yeah, but you're God. That can be God. You can be God. What's the difference then? That had a beginning. You had a beginning.
Yeah.
That will have an end. You have an end.
Yeah.
In what sense are you God? None at all. You seem like a person who is not thinking this through. Because you're saying, I think you believe in pantheism, yeah? Everything is God, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you're a pantheist. So you're not, from a Catholic, you became a pantheist, not an atheist. That means you believe that this, nature and everything in existence is God. Let me ask you this. What will happen to you after you die?
I become the past of God.
You become?
The past of God.
The past of a God.
I become the past of God. God keeps living with my children, with your children.
No, but when you die, you're buried.
Yeah.
Then what happens to you after that?
What happens to you? I mean, Your you yesterday.
You're the God. You should know this answer.
Yeah. Your you yesterday. What happened with your you yesterday?
Sorry, with mine?
Yourself yesterday. Yourself yesterday died.
Myself in a minute ago.
Yeah, died.
That time has passed, and now I'm in the present.
Exactly.
So if you take time as zero, you're always going to be in that time of zero.
Exactly.
You're going to have -1 or +1, but then you reset to that zero. So this is relative to time, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking to you as your body, your essence, your mind. Yes? What happens to that after you die?
It's the same. What I'm trying to...
Yeah, sure.
What I'm saying is, what happened...
Is that okay?
When I die, I become the past of God, of this miraculous entity.
No. Look, you're not thinking this through. I know everything has a past, present, and future. But what I'm asking you is, what will happen to your material being and your soul, or your mind, or whatever you believe in?
Basically, being God, I will know everything.
So tell me then.
God cannot be deceived. No, because...
My friend, if you know everything, tell me what will happen to you after you die.
But when I die, I will know everything. Because
so right now you don't know?
Exactly, because God
so you're not God then?
Because God is all-knowing and ignorant.
And ignorant.
And ignorant. It's a miracle. It's an impossibility possible.
That sounds like a contradiction to me.
It's a contradiction. It's an impossibility possible. A miracle.
A God is not a contradiction. God knows everything. God is not someone who contradicts himself. But you, I don't know which kind of God you are, what you believe in, but you're contradicting yourself. You're saying he knows everything and he doesn't know. That means it's a contradiction. But the law of contradiction, you make no sense right now. It's something which is...
It's an impossibility possible, a miracle.
No, there's no logical illogical. What you're doing right now is logical illogical. Either you're logical or you're illogical. You can't have it both ways.
God is life and death, ignorance and knowledge.
This is all contradictions.
Hate and love, superior and inferior. God is everything.
No.
God is eternal and mortal.
Let me ask you this.
How can he be eternal and mortal? Because in infinite time...
We don't believe God is mortal. We believe he's eternal. You might believe your God is, mortal. Let me ask you this. Do you believe in good and evil?
Yeah, I mean...
Is God evil?
God is evil and good.
There you go. You believe in God who's evil. So you believe in Satan and you believe in God.
Look, listen to me.
I mean, you believe he's that God.
You are God. You are
I'm
God.
not God, bro. I am a creation of God.
Well, anyway.
What do you mean anyway?
God is us. God is us. God is...
No. Look, as a pantheist, it doesn't make sense. Do you believe God is personal?
I think we are...
Would God want anything evil to happen to you by himself, by God making...
But you don't understand my theory. My theory is not like God is an external entity with will and that governs hell and heaven.
So
God is us.
So
God is good and evil, because some people...
No, hold on. Did you just say God doesn't have a will?
How do you know what you're claiming?
Because pure logic,
This is pure illogic when you say the opposites are God.
Yeah,
It's not logic, my friend. It's the opposite of logic.
Is
it your own theory that you made up?
Yeah.
Is there somebody else who follows that?
No, it's pantheism.
No.
You know pantheism?
No, it's unique.
He's not the first.
I'm gonna give you
He has a card and he said, I made it up myself.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah.
And I'm looking to test
But he's
my
probably
theory.
borrowed it from other pantheists.
Yeah, because it's the first theory on God not based on faith ever. Basically we are God, and when we die we become the past of God, and God keeps living. So
I don't want to investigate that.
yeah.
Why is a guy smoking marijuana on the top?
Yes, that was also something that remarkable.
I was...
إذا أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والتعليق، ولكي يصلك كل جديد اشترك الآن.